Yeah, I think the first 3 days that we came to camp, there was a lot of kind of anxious and trepidation, concern. They were all here. They were all excited to go. Great energy on the practice field. But you could just tell there were some doubting Thomases. Is this really? The question was, are we really going to do this? Is this really going to happen? Is this going to be for real? But when you go through now, we've been in camp for 3 weeks, going through it, practicing, freshmen starting to get more and more comfortable with what we're doing. I think the leadership of this team, the players have done a great job. And the number one thing is they want to play. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's the formula for what has made this team click to this point. They want to play. They're excited about playing. They want to play. The leaders want to play. The Milton Williams, the Ezekiel Barnetts, the Cody Russies, they want to play football. You don't train this hard for these opportunities and then just let them go away. They want to play, and if the opportunity is there, they're excited about it. No, we've had some, I don't want to call them setbacks, but you've got injuries that happen during camp, which everybody does, and you've got nicks and bumps and bruises, and we were concerned about soft tissue muscles when we came to camp, soft tissue injuries with the lack of training in May, June, and July, and then all of a sudden you come out here and you have a 25-day or a 30-day camp. How were our bodies going to hold up? But really, I think, there's 10, 12 guys out for that. You've got a guy that comes in and he reports symptoms. And he's got a headache, he's got chills, and he's out for 2 days and gets tested, and then results come in and he's either back to work or he's on quarantine. So, you've got a lot of things that you're dealing with in this camp that we typically have not. But the attitude and the morale of this team has not changed, and they really have a next man up mentality. Somebody's out, nobody blinks. It's like, let's go practice, let's get better. And ultimately, we're going to have to play with who's eligible to play. But I think the team is really excited about playing. So I have seen a complete change. I won't say change, but maybe 1 foot in with the doubts of, is this really going to happen? With spring practice getting canceled, then the spring quarter getting canceled, then summer school getting canceled, then games getting pushed back, conferences canceling. So I think they came in with 1 foot in, like, let's see if this is really going to happen. But as it's gone, I think they've just gained steam and confidence and energy and excitement, especially having the opportunity to watch the first college football game last Saturday. Like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is really going to happen. So even though they've been working hard at it, I think everybody's probably still going to have a small percentage of them that's going to stand on the sideline before we put the ball on the tee at Baylor and say, pinch me and let me know this is real. We're excited to be here.
Right. We've talked a lot about how young this team is, compared to last year especially. So having lost so many strong seniors and having a young group and then starting the season off against Baylor, are you worried at all going into that?
I wouldn't say worried. We're going to learn a lot about our football team. We're going to learn a lot about the young guys on our football team. Because this is a year where you bring 100 to camp, and you may have started camp as a fourth team wide receiver, defensive back, and you could be a starter tomorrow. With the way this has worked, and we have put pressure on this entire team. We just got to keep getting better. Are we going to be good enough? I don't know. That's why we're going to go play the game. I think, when you look at it, we're all hopeful that we can be at full strength. I think everybody around the country is hopeful they can be at full strength. And you look at some programs that have had to maybe shut down for 10 days because of positive test and contact tracing. I think everybody's going to have a little bit of that as we get into this season and can get through some of that, and hopefully we can get better and better with it. But we're going to learn a lot about our football team in the opening week, and we're going to learn a lot about some young players that maybe have played very little football. But there's no doubt that in my mind we're going to be able to put 11 on the field that are going to have an opportunity to go compete.
Kind of going off of that, it does make it exciting when you have these young players that you really haven't been able to watch in action yet. So we know the guys to expect to be good this year, but kind of it's already in camp. Have you been able to spot anybody in particular that we should really be on the lookout for?
I think there's an awful lot of talent in the freshman class. The young players, and I say freshmen, redshirt freshmen, guys that came in a year ago who maybe names aren't as familiar as people would would like, but I look at Mackie Carabin, who was a redshirt freshman linebacker who didn't play last year, played in 4 games, who may be the starting Mike linebacker. I look at a young wide receiver in Trey Harris and the job that he's doing and the role that he's going to have the opportunity to play. I look at some of the young offensive linemen that I think are going to have a chance. Some of the new additions, when I look at Khalil Ladler, when I look at Donovan Campbell. I mean, there's so many new faces, and I promise you I will be just as excited to see what game day is going to look like on September 12th as everybody else will. I will be watching. I've had the opportunity to see maybe what they're capable of, but what you never know is how is a young man going to perform the first time he runs out onto the field in a college football stadium with television cameras and a large audience, and maybe not a packed stadium like it has been in the past because of some of the restrictions and limitations with the COVID rules. But still, when the first time you line up against an opponent, it's going to be interesting to see if they can maintain their focus and stay dialed into what they have to do their job. And as long as we can get them in that frame of mind, then I think they'll be fine. They'll go out and compete. What they're doing on the field right now has been really impressive, watching them run around and watching some of the things that they're doing.
Well, that's good for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm excited to watch that other game too.
No, I am too. Believe me, I am going to. I may buy popcorn and peanuts and stand on the sideline and sit down and this is going to be entertaining. I'm anxious to watch. It'll be a lot of fun.